Good morning. So I wanted to do another tool review for you today. This time it's for a Pittsburgh heavy duty 3-ton floor jack. Now the one on the right is my old jack. It's a black jack that I got at Walmart probably about 5-6 years ago now. No, not that long, about 4 years ago. And I decided to replace it because the seals in it are leaking, and so it'll pump up, but it won't stay up. So I have to pump up, I have to jack up the car, and then as quickly as I can put a jack stand underneath it, which makes it kind of hard because after I jack up the car, put a stand under it, sometimes I have to lift up a different section. Like if I'm doing something on the axle or the suspension, I'll have to lift the suspension up, and this will keep sinking, which makes it very annoying. The reason why I got this particular jack is I was in a hurry and I was doing some work, and the jack that I had at the time didn't go up tall enough, and this one has this extension, so you can either have it be lower or you can have it be higher, and it works, but it's not great, and it takes a lot of pumping to get up. Now, a couple things I do like about it is where you pump, this part swivels, so you don't have to, like if you're working on a car and you don't have a lot of room between the two, you can swivel it there so you can pump from the side. It can be low as well as it can get up pretty tall with this 2.5-inch extension. It does reduce the maximum capacity, but not enough to really make that big a difference. With that, it gets up to, sorry, this upside down, now it's sideways, but it goes from 5.5 inches to 17 inches without the extension, or from 9.25 to 20 7/8 inch with the extension. So it goes from 5.5 to up to 20 inches depending on how you have it configured. And that's the biggest reason why I got it, is because of the extension. I was putting a lift kit on a Jeep Patriot and I needed the extra height. This one I got because I didn't want to have to deal with, besides the fact that it hopefully won't sink like this one does, I hate having to deal with this extension. It gets lost, my kids find it, they play with it. So I'm hoping that, with this it goes from, I want to say 2 7/8, so just under 3 inches, up to 19.5 inches, just shy of 20 inches. So it gets almost as high as this one, but starts out a lot lower without having to mess with an extension. And so I have 3 vehicles. I have my Infiniti, which is pretty close to the ground, and so this one without the extension barely fits. And if I have a low tire, one of my tires is low on air, I actually cannot get this jack under it, which is a problem. I have to get out the scissors jack, lift it up, and then jack it with this one, and then go where the flex, it fits just fine. And then the Jeep, I have to use the extension and jack it up from an axle, because neither of these will actually fit the any jack points along the side. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do some work on the Jeep and get it jacked up, and I want to show you how it looks using it in normal use. So I'll go ahead and move it over to the Jeep and go from there. So far all I've done is get it into place, and a couple things. This is the first time I'm using this jack, so just some initial impressions. This jack is very heavy, and as you can see, I had to lay some bricks down for me to legally park my Jeep here. So it's not the most ideal place to work on it, but as you see, my driveway is full, and it's not worth moving everything for the quick job I'm going to do. You have to have this in place when you get it up under the vehicle, because I'm up under the bumper and the gas tank to be able to jack from my differential, or the center of my axle. And it's a very heavy jack. You have to have the handle in place because if you don't, this has a spring on it and it just sticks straight up, so you can't put it in place and then put the handle in it. And to loosen it, you kind of have to have the handle in just the right position to loosen it, to have the to have it drop. But it does pump fairly quickly, and it's nice and strong. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort once you get it into place. Again, it is a very heavy jack, so if you don't have a place to just be able to roll it into place, it can be a good amount of work to get it there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish jacking up and get working, and then I'll lower it down and give you my final impressions. Thank you. Alright, so I'm done with the work on the Jeep, and it worked great. But I wanted to do just a quick demonstration of actually using the jack. So I'm going to go ahead and use it on my excuse me, it's a 2005 Infiniti, and right about there is where it is the jacking point. There we go. And it does take a number of pumps. It said it was a quick pump, but it's not as quick as I like to be. But it's definitely a lot faster, I think, than my other jack. And again, I am doing it one-handed, trying to record a video at the same time. And you can see how quick that was, how nice it lifted it up, but mainly how easily it went under the vehicle. So it's definitely a good recommendation. If you buy anything from Harbor Freight, I highly recommend that you get their coupons, get them in the mail, and definitely scour those coupons for anything you're interested in purchasing, because I think I paid about $15–20 less for this than I paid for, or I paid $15–20 less for this hydraulic jack than it was normally priced, which was, I believe, at least $10 or $15 less than I paid for the one I got from Walmart. And it definitely is a higher quality jack overall. It lifts higher, it starts lower, or it lifts about the same height while starting a lot lower. And it definitely feels very stable as well. Feels very safe when jacking it up. So definitely a recommendation on my list. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Thank you for watching.